20 years ago, I walked onto this campus with grand expectations. Only 17 when I reported for preseason, I carried the confidence of a big fish from a little pond. I was quickly humbled by the greatness of the women around me. The seniors of that 1994 season, Ann, Lynn, and Katie, led by example. Having never lifted a weight in my life, never timed myself in a mile, never even run a quick offense, I began to wonder why Katie Weissmiller even recruited me. Thankfully, she and assistant coach Jessica Feeble-Corn-Kerr stuck with me. I had so much growing up to do, but being a part of Indiana Volleyball meant that I had a family, and in so many ways we would grow up together. And when I think back on the time I spent in Bloomington, it is that sense of team, family, and home that flood my mind and can only be understood by those who've lived it. I am so honored to be here today in a room of amazing women and their families, former coaches, and others who've been the backbone of Indiana Volleyball for 40 years. I became a Hoosier right in the middle of this tradition, 20 years of players before me and nearly 20 years since. The rocky path continues to be paved with sweat and dedication, long hours, and sacrifice. So what exactly was my era all about? Let me try to give you a picture. The ABCs of Indiana Volleyball, memories and lessons learned during the early days of the Weissmiller era. A, always be on time, especially for preseason curfew. If Tanya were here, she could tell the story. B, brown jeans should not go in the wash with white shirts. Why was I wearing brown jeans? C, cutting class was frowned upon and often checked by coaches, especially at 8 a.m. on Friday morning. D, Demetra Marcus and Emily Badger knew how to throw a memorable Halloween party. Yet for some reason, my memories of it are fuzzy. E, extra bagels, please. We had bagfuls of bagels on every plane ride. These were the days before carbs were the enemy. F, Frank, our strength and conditioning coach, could always be counted on to torture us in the weight room. He was not happy with me when I maxed out at 11 push-ups my freshman year. Sophomore year, 42. Today, probably about 8. G, Gulfstream 1, IU's own 19-seater plane. As I stepped onto the tarmac in '94 and gazed on it for the first time, I actually asked if Fisher-Price had made it. I could not believe I was about to be launched skyward on something that small. Later that season, amid some turbulence on a flight to Iowa, I remember Marcy Prothro shouting out, "We're all gonna die!" Needless to say, we made it to Iowa that day with a diverted landing near some cornfields, and there may have been a little vomit. H, heat. Bring on the heat. In the olden days, the U School had no AC. We lived like cave people in the 90s. I, ice cream and chocolate all over our faces during a really bad, but we thought hysterically funny skit performed for campers at our summer camp. J, Jessica Feeble-Corn-Kerr brought the heat to practice battles. If only Ann Eastman were here to ask about that. K, Katie Weissmiller once busted out all the words to Ice Ice Baby. You think you know some people. L, large everything. Long sleeve shirts, long spandex, baggy warm-ups, knee-length socks. Basically, no skin showed in the 90s. Even on the weekends, we're talking flannels, jeans, overalls. It was a stylish decade. M, mice, or a mouse, in the locker room can get 16 girls to run faster than a sighting of Luke Perry. Oh, remember Luke Perry? It was the 90s. That same mouse will also leave a dreadful stench when it dies in your locker room over the weekend. N, 1995, IU's first ever NCAA tournament appearance. We may have lost to George Mason, but I got some great new shoes while shopping in DC. O, Ohio State may be ranked, but we can still take them down. The volleyball team figured that out in '94 and '97. I keep waiting for our football team to figure that out. P, sorry, Craig. P, preseason pool workouts at 8 p.m. Really, Katie? Heather Mogelson nearly drowned. We are land athletes. Q, questionable smells in the locker room. This time, not from mice, but after a weekend of sharing it with the wrestling team. We were worried we may catch that ear disease that so many of them seem to have. R, ranked in the top 25 for the first time in program history at the start of the 1997 season. S, 7-minute miles will not kill you. T, towel suicides might. They are also great for torturing your own children as you make them clean the hardwood floors. U school gym, home sweet home. V, what starts with V that reminds me of my time at IU? I'll have to get back to that one. W, Wilma and Myrna would not come home with you to do your laundry. They would, however, wash anything that you stuffed into your mesh bag as long as that giant safety pin was holding it all in. X, expect DJ Mike to play our favorite warm-up tunes, Men in Black and Come On Ride the Train. Y, you have to buy all the gag gifts to give your teammates at the end of the season banquet when you're the only senior, except for that infamous mood ring that had been passed down from year to year. Twiggy may still have that. Z, 0 losses to begin my senior season, a record-setting 15-0 start. And even though there were 15 losses that followed that, the team rallied on senior night to give me my last home court victory over Northwestern. Every fall, I can still hear the band play the IU fight song as we beat Purdue to keep the Monon spike. Every fall, I can still feel the red and gray sport court tiles of the U School that lay under us as we assaulted our joints for 20-plus hours a week. Every fall, I can still see my parents' faces, halfway up the bleachers to the left, as I stood on the end line before game time. I can still see the crowd of school-aged girls screaming at us to toss them that pregame shirt. Every fall, I have an overwhelming desire to return to this place, to report for preseason, to throw on my number 10 jersey just one more time, stand hand in hand with my teammates on the thin white end line, and wait for the piercing whistle to signal game time. Those days are part of my past, but the treasured memories remain forever etched in my heart, and I know how blessed I am to have been a part of this tradition, a part of Indiana, our cream and crimson school. Thank you.